when it comes to meditating for 2 hours a day, as recommended by Goenka, it might feel like a lot. It might feel like, wow, that is unattainable. But here is why that is very necessary, why 2 hours are necessary. So to begin with, this meditation, Vipassana meditation, is an investment in your well-being, in your wisdom, in your love, in your ability to perceive, to live, to be, all of this. So it's a very important investment, and the returns are there, right? There are some benefits. After you've gone to a 10-day, you've probably noticed some benefits, how your mindscape is so much clearer and smoother, and everything just flows a little bit easier inside your mind. You're not too overwhelmed. And you've developed some practice with remaining equanimous and all of this stuff. And so is it really essential to do 2 hours per day, right? 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the night. Why can't you just do 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes at night, right? Why isn't 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes at night enough, right? Or, you can put some arbitrary number. Why is that not enough of an investment? And so the question to that is, let's look at other investments that you make in your life, right? You go to the gym. How long, on average, do you spend at the gym, right? It's about an hour to 2 hours or more, maybe less. But generally, it's about an hour, right? Let's say you put in a load of laundry. How long does that take, right? The wash takes about 35 minutes. The dryer takes about 45 minutes. That's an hour and a half right there. Let's say you put on a TV show, right? You put on a TV show. It's about a 45-minute episode, technically an hour, but without all the ads, it's 45 minutes, right? Let's say you go to school. You're sitting in class, and you're in the same class every day, and those classes are about an hour. If you have those classes only twice a week, it's about 2.5 to 3 hours each. So basically, what I'm trying to say is literally anything else that you do in your life, it takes time to get to get a good return on it, right? Imagine you said, all I need at the gym is 10 minutes. 10 minutes is all that I need. I will say, right, that is better than nothing. So if you're doing absolutely nothing, it is better than nothing. But if you're answering the question is how much time should you spend at the gym? How long should you exercise for ideally? Right? It'll be more than 10 minutes. That's what it will be, right? How long should I go for a run? If you're only running for 10 minutes, great. But for cardio, you need a little bit longer. So in essence, it's like to get a good return, things take about an hour, right? Let's say you're cooking a meal. You can make a 10-minute meal, right? You can whip together quick eggs, right? You can make something quick and easy in 10 minutes. And yes, it's beneficial. But if you're making a proper meal, it takes a little bit longer than 10 minutes. So in this way, in order to literally across the whole of life spectrum, with all the things that you do every day, all the things that you're like, well, I need these benefits, right? Whether it's clean clothes, whether it's a clean house, whether it's your physical benefits, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's in school, like whatever it is, the time that it just shows that time is needed, right? More time than 5 to 10 minutes is needed to get the full benefits. So that's the one thing, is that is just how much time is needed in general to get the benefits out of something. Of course, you can do more. You can work out for 2 hours. You can talk and converse for way longer than 2 hours. And so, that's number one, that's how much time is needed. Then the struggle becomes, then the next question is, well, I don't have time for that, right? I don't have time to meditate for 2 hours a day. And to this, there's a couple responses, and it's like, okay, what do you prioritize, right? Whenever you do anything, you obviously cannot do any other thing in that moment, right? If you're at the yoga studio doing yoga in a yoga class for an hour, You are not shopping. You are not hanging out with a friend. You are not at your parents' house. You're not doing any of those things because that is the thing that you're doing. And so you're excluding other things for sure. So how do you prioritize it? And not even how do you prioritize it, should you prioritize it? And, the answer to that simply is mental health is very important. Your ability to develop your wisdom, I would say, is very essential to life, right? You have to be wise. You have to know how to be in tune. You have to know how to observe any hardship that arises, and you have to be able to respond. And the ability to respond to that is determined by your ability to keep, a cool head, your ability to be present, and your ability to deal with it in a non-reactive way, in a very active and intentional action-based response is what you need, instead of like a reaction, which can make the situation even worse. So is that important? Like, is that an important thing to prioritize? Of course it is an important thing to prioritize. So should meditation be prioritized? I would absolutely say absolutely. Now you answer that question. Maybe you don't think meditation is good enough, like it doesn't bring you enough benefits. It doesn't, for whatever reason. Now the other caveat to that question, right? In today's world, we use technology a lot, right? If you whip out your phone and you go into the section that tells you how long you use your phone for, like this is one of the things that made me realize that this excuse of I don't have time for it, or like my day's too busy, or there's just other things to do and I can't find 2 hours. This just shut that up completely inside my head. And what that was, I literally went into my phone, saw how much I used my phone. And on average, it was like 5 hours a day of being on my phone. And I know, I know for myself, not all those 5 hours are productive. It's not like I'm on the phone the whole time, talking with somebody, building relationships. Nope, a lot of that is just mindless scrolling that I personally think I do too much of, right? I don't think I need to scroll for several hours every day. Like I don't like to do it that much. A little bit, sure, it's entertaining and all of that, but really what happens, rabbit hole, 4 hours have gone by and I'm like, what happened? So if you are anything like that, and so what I did was I was like, okay, I can definitely, these 5 hours that I'm just scrolling my phone, I can definitely give up 2 for meditation. I still have 3 hours. I still have, 2 to 3 hours to mindlessly scroll, you gotta do what you gotta do. But no longer can I say, well, I don't have time, right? Like I don't have time to meditate. So if you ask me what's more important, mindlessly scrolling for 5 hours or mindlessly scrolling for 3 hours and 2 hours of meditation, right? This second option is what I would pick. So I urge you, if you have this thought of, I just can't find the time, seriously, look at how much you use your phone. Look at how much you mindlessly waste time, and then respond with, whether this applies to you or not, whether you truly don't have time or you just don't want to meditate. Because that's the other thing, right? The question of why do I get to meditate for 2 hours, has the premises that you do want to meditate for a certain amount of time, but that 2 hours is too long, right? And so the question is, how bad do you want it? Like, do you actually want to meditate? Or is it just a fad? Is it just something, just one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, you should do this, but then you actually don't like it, you don't want to do it, it doesn't really connect with you, and it's not really for you, and, and it's just not resonating with you. If that's the case, just be honest with yourself and just say, hey, I don't want to meditate, right? I don't want all these benefits. I don't want to feel more peaceful. I don't want to feel more relaxed. I don't want to feel less stressed. I don't want to feel, more exuberant. I don't want to feel more joy. I don't want to feel more happiness, right? Just say, look, I don't want to do this thing that is going to get me all those things, because I I don't want it enough to actually put the time into it, time that I can easily find if I cut back on my mindless scrolling. I just don't want it. Then you're right. 2 hours is way too long. Why, like, you can't even find 10 minutes to do it. You know, you're pretty far from doing it for 2 hours. So those are my, the way that I think about it. And, it's also pretty hard to like fit it into your daily routine. But once you get it down, like once you make a commitment and you say, you know what, I actually do want to meditate. Like I do want to explore my inner reality. I want to understand the nature of my mind. I want to be able to use it. I want to be able to understand everything about myself, understand how my mind works, understand how everything is interrelated and how my reactions or my responses to stimuli that is internal and external creates the life pattern that I am living in and leads to the satisfaction and the fulfillment that I feel in life. Like when you're ready to do that, then it's like, all right, how do you fit in 2 hours? How do you fit in 2 hours? And again, you just 1 hour in the morning. I tend to wake up pretty early. I get up at 5:30 and I make it work. I don't start work till 9 o'clock. And so I'm up 4.5 hours before I have to get up just to make sure that I can fit in my meditation. And then in the evening time, it's pretty easy because I come home from work. Most of the time I'm pretty tired. And then it's, just super easy to an hour before bed, right? 9 to 10, I just meditate. And that's just what I do. And, even on the weekends now, personally, I'm at an age where I don't like staying up late. Like I don't like partying until 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. That's just not my lifestyle anymore, right? And you could have a lifestyle like that still. And for that, I would just recommend meditating before you head out, right? If you're heading out at 8 p.m. or 6 p.m. or whatever PMs, just meditate before you go, right? Just do that and you can like take care of it. So it'll be pretty easy as long as you want it. Sweet. Well, thanks for watching. Take care.